with Dr. Hannah, Dr. Paul Hannah, Master Teacher Paul Hannah. We're in the ever now. Dr. Hannah, we have talked about many things, and one of the things I wanted to talk to you about today was spiritual Qigong. I know people talk about Qigong a lot. It's become more popular. I don't want to say it's a fad, but people have different concepts about it. And I know you focus on Qigong, and more specifically spiritual Qigong, in a certain way.
Yes.
How do you look at spiritual Qigong?
I look at spiritual Qigong as a vehicle for expanding one inner consciousness to connect with the universal consciousness.
Okay.
So to me, it's an avenue of focus your breath and your mind. And once you're using your breath with your mind to transcend become aware of your limitations, your kinks, to realize you're interconnected to in and everything is a big vehicle, using mind and breath to awaken you. And when you awake, you become conscious. And what you become conscious of, you can internalize. When you internalize, you can live like wisdom, and you become that. So spiritual Qigong to me is a very powerful vehicle at this time and age to awaken your authentic self. I mean, your true self, your soul self is using breath to awaken that. Using that as a constant each time you're inhaling and exhaling. Because I see breath is a foundation for all works. And I add the spiritual values to that to expand my love, to expand my compassion, to expand my beauty, my trust, my hope, my gratitude. And I use that daily. And I realize as a healer, as a medical doctor, I realize that so many people have lost that sense of that love and like for themselves, or having gratitude. Those are powerful things that need to be incorporated. So it's no way to reach an inner harmony or people harmony or global harmony without harmonizing with yourself. So spiritual Qigong is another way of like inner harmony, interconnectivity, realizing we're connected to everything, everybody. That's what it is.
Okay. Mm-hmm. When you practice spiritual Qigong, what are some methods you can use for beginning to maybe start on that path?
One thing, the biggest thing is to be clear that you desire to be on that path. So clarity is very important about being on any path, but when you decide you want to go within, that means you have to have the clarity, the courage, the conviction, determination that you are taking this road to go in, to own yourself, to be responsible for yourself without blaming other people, blaming any situation or time. So having clarity is important, having conviction is important, and realizing that you're worthy of and deserving of connecting back to the source. Okay. And those are the reasons at the beginning to be clear about those things.
Okay. How do you see spiritual clarity or clarity as you speak of it?
Well, I see spiritual clarity is like look at something beyond this mundane plane, and that there's a force that connects us all. And I use that as a spiritual energy. And I look at what is that energy that connects us? What is that energy, And I say it's a love energy. And I think love, everything is energy. So energy cannot be destroyed. So it's a way of like, use that energy to neutralize and transform all the isms, the racism, sexism, ageism, any kind of ism might be, the povertyism, So once you realize that love energy and have gratitude and have the courage and compassion and creativity, you can transcend that. But again, you must have that sense of clarity and worthiness and deserving and that determination to move in that arena. And which each one in your breath, you'll stand, am I focusing on inhaling in love, exhaling in harmony? And not just outside, but in your body. Because once you have internalization, harmonization of your body, then you minimize disease processes to come in your body. Because most people get sick or decrease their energy because they don't really like themselves. They say they do, but they do everything to beat it. But as you begin to look inside to relax and harmonize, you want to invest in yourself. And once you truly invest, you have the energy, the capacity, the love to extend beyond yourself. Yes.
And when you talk about deserving, I feel like deserving is something, especially in our society, that a lot of people don't feel like they deserve certain things. Mm-hmm. What do you mean by deserving?
I mean that deserving, you define, you deserve as a spiritual being, the most high, the most abundant, the most health. Mm-hmm. But you've been programmed to think less, to be less, act less. And society is coming from a sense of fear. And that fear, I got to be against, I must take from. And you set up that dichotomy. That's why I said love energy is more powerful than the fear energy. So it neutralizes and transforms that. And so when we see so much fear in our community, the black community, and all throughout this country, the fear in the black community as a physician, you see so many people with very serious challenges in their kidney. You see dialysis machines everywhere in this country. And I look at it from being a meridian, that the acupuncture, fear controls the kidney. And that overwhelms that. So many people have heart attacks because they're put in stress. They don't feel they have the joy, deserve the joy. They get heart attacks. And so forth. When you don't feel that, you compensate by getting these weird addictions to all the white sugars, the white salt, and the white bread. So therefore, you're complicating yourself, trying to get that joy inside of yourself, that love inside of yourself. So therefore, you end up killing yourself. That's why the death rate is higher, because there's that lack of non-appreciation trying to fulfill it. And these organs are starving for attention. Your heart.
What do you mean starving for attention?
Love, acceptance, appreciation. I mean, the fear. You walk out, you don't know if you're going to make it. Yeah. And you've been talking about that fear. It's rampant. So that fear affects kidney. So love energy, going in, taking responsibility. And I'm saying taking responsibility for yourself, and don't necessarily go out and depend on no medical science. Learn to read and take care of yourself and invest in yourself. Love energies. So if you really love something, you're going to take care of it.
Yes.
If you love something, you're going to spend time with it. If you love something, you're going to invest because you value that is precious to you. So I don't hear people talking that, but they're not walking that, you know.
Is love and attention, do those go hand in hand?
For sure. If you, as I said, if you have something that you love, you can make sure it's taken care of. You're going to invest in it. If you don't, you won't. We only invest in, time in, money in what we value or what we love. If we don't, we just talking.
Right.
So I'm more of a walker than a talker. What you gonna do? Right. And I don't deal with why this, why that. I say, what am I gonna do about how I'm gonna do it, how I'm gonna neutralize it, how I'm gonna transform all of that, you know. It's about that. Right. So spiritual Qigong is a vehicle of waking you up to your authentic self. You're becoming responsible with yourself. You like, love, appreciate for yourself. Therefore, you can connect on that frequency with other people who are doing that same thing. Mm-hmm. So you don't transcend fear. You look at how can I help rather than harm. How can I harmonize rather than being scattered? How can I heal? And those things are very important to make sure. So spiritual Qigong is very critical to me as a healer and also as a fighter. It's critical to understand that. Okay. Because, as I said, it doesn't matter what style of art you are, whatever you study. You can study whatever system. Remember, human have, a mind, they have two hands, the fingers, this and that. The question is how you integrate them is based on you. They say, well, this system is good for you. I say, that's fantastic. Does it make it better? It's better for you, not necessarily better globally. My question is, what can enhance you? What can enhance your health span rather than your lifespan? How you can maximize yourself in using, are you mobile? Are you flexible? Are you stable? You have strength? Do you have relaxation, Whatever system it is. I mean, for me, I'm an internal martial artist. I like Tai Chi. I like Bakwa Chan. I like Qigong. All those things are internal systems, but I'm not limited to no system. I'm an unlimited spiritual being that connects on frequencies that can enhance my authentic self. So when I see people this and that, I say that's good for them. But spiritual Qigong, as I said, is a way of going back to your authentic self, your higher self, that transcends the limited frequencies down here, that looking to isolate, destroy, cause confusion, disharmony. That's what I am.
Now, you spoke about some of the expressions you do in terms of martial arts. How do you look at spiritual Qigong relating to those like Tai Chi and Bakwa? How do you see those?
To me, they are interrelated because spiritual is not separated from anything that's separate in your own mind. It's infused in there. And the question is, if you again go back to your core, if it's based on what I call the lower frequency, doesn't matter if you're doing the Tai Chi or the Bakwa, or Shaolin, or Wing Chun, or boxing, mixed martial arts, or system. All those systems, you have to look at what's the purpose. What you're doing.
Okay.
What are you doing? I'm saying spiritual Qigong, for me, transcend, incorporate all of that. And you figure out which one is better for you. Is it a judo? Is it a keto? It doesn't matter what system. There's so many systems. And it's good for the person who created that system. There's so many people that follow that, and it's very good for them. It's great for them. I say follow that system. When you get through it, all of that, what motivates you? And what motivates you, and how is it enhancing your health? How is it relating back to the global humanity? What system? And the only thing I said was that it is, we all breathe. That's why Qigong is important. We all inhale and exhale. I can tell people, okay, don't breathe for 20 minutes. See if, say how long you'll be. I don't care what system you have. So the question, I like Qigong because it deals with breath. Breath is the only thing that keeps the human being from becoming a spiritual over this side. So it's important how you focus on your breath, what you're thinking when you breathe. So that's why I say inhale love, exhale harmony. Creating that frequency.
So that's a good foundational practice right there, the inhale love and exhale harmony.
Yeah, I wrote this thing on quantum chi. I wrote this thing called source of breath. And I explained what I meant when I say that breath. When there's different schools that thought about it, but for me, when you inhale, when you first come into this reincarnate here, you activate the brain, the heart, the brain, the lungs start functioning. Now you don't start your reincarnation here. When you get ready to go back into the spirit world, you exhale, everything shuts down. I'm not here to debate if the inhale come first or the exhale come first. What I am talking about to focus on, regardless what comes first, where is your consciousness when you're breathing? Is it on love? Is it on craziness? Is it on harmony? What you putting out there? So whatever you put out there comes back to you. When it comes back to you, blame yourself because you put it out there. That's how you can tell adult from an adolescent or a punk from a warrior. A punk and an adolescent always blame somebody else. And a warrior take responsibility. And then what you do, when you do it, how you can do it. It's about that. So for me, I'm about stimulating, cultivating warriorhood. Real adults being responsible with a heart of love. Even though I teach all the students that learn with me, from me, always be in a position to give mercy, never be at the mercy. Because we're not going to bother nobody. But someone bothers something, you have to become a reflective boomerang. They send it, you send it back to them. That's what I mean. That's it.
So that was a question that maybe we can talk about as well. I think some people have a notion or a concept that if you're peaceful, you wouldn't need martial arts, so that you don't ever have to fight. How do you look at that as someone who practices martial arts?
Well, I practice living arts, martial arts, and I think that whoever had that concept, I think it's kind of skewed view because we fighting all the time. Whenever you're in this physical body, you have to fight your own thoughts your own demons, your own addictions. There's a fight. There's a physical fight. There's the emotional fight. There's a spiritual fight. So that's always going on at all times. The question is, how do you respond to them rather than react to them? So are we talking about an emotional fight, a spiritual fight? What kind of fight is it? So to me, being a Bakwa person, a Tai Chi person, a spiritual Qigong person, I'm always cultivating this body, because this body came back into this reincarnation to be responsible for its own issues that need to be refined. And some people call that a fight. I call it refinement. And so, and even you have a physical confrontation, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to serve, to protect your life, or to protect someone else, or it's just a matter of reflecting back to someone who needs a lesson.
So some people have said to me, for instance, that you don't need to fight. You can negotiate those inner demons. How do you look at that? Is it just a word play? Or?
It's a word play.
Yeah.
It's a word play, but I'm saying I'd like to see you to have the confidence, the courage, and the clarity to look at those, quote, demons. And I don't call the word demon. I call it the energy that look like they are disharmonious energies that need to be harmonized. Yeah, they need to be harmonized. And I'm saying, I look at them when they come up, I welcome them. I said, well, come on. And when you welcome something, then it tends to dissipate in that sense, because you're not running from it. You say, okay, it must be my lesson. And every time when you learn a lesson, you graduate from it. When you graduate from something, it don't happen again. I say, people, I talk to students and patients and all people in the workshop. I'm talking about, if you have a situation, I want to know how you graduated. So what does that mean, Doc? I said, did you go to college? They say, yes. Now, I want you to go back to the same college, get the same degrees. They look at me like I'm crazy. Because you graduated. If it's high school, did you graduate from high school? Or you had no school? Whatever it is, there's some point in your life. And relationships the same way. Some people you graduate from, they didn't do anything wrong. You just graduated. The frequency is over. That don't mean that you don't like, love, appreciate the person. It's just you graduated. And it's time to be respectful and be honest, another one of my spiritual qualities, and say, and move on, and verbalize that. Most people kind of hold on, and knowing that it's time to let go. It's time to move on and move to something, because you don't change your frequency. The frequency change.
Yes.
And so I think people get caught into the religions. They say I say, well, that's not your sole purpose, your lesson. You got to go ahead and refine yourself. You'll get sick physically doing something you don't want to do over and over and over again. You kind of pretend. You're dishonest with yourself. And you're creating a whole toxic energy around you, because you're not even in harmony with yourself. Okay. Did I answer your question?
Oh, you certainly did. I had another question that relates. We were talking about certain people looking at individuals who practice these systems as being the truth, for lack of a better word. And you were telling me that, there's one way to look at that, but how do you see that when someone says, oh, this person's the truth?
Well, I say that very simply. The criteria for truth is the amount of truth you have in yourself. You've got a little bit of truth, that's all you can see. That is the truth for them. You got a little bigger. I'll give you an example. We live in Lake Michigan down the 4 blocks over is Lake Michigan. It's big Lake Michigan. And if you only take a 5-gallon can and bring it back and say, man, this is the truth. It is. But did you measure the depth of Lake Michigan? No, because your little mind doesn't have the capacity to measure it. So the best thing, don't judge them. Just realize that's good for them. Some people go down there with a cup. They say, man, my cup is running over. Man, look at this. I say, that's real nice. But that's limited to their capacity. It's limited to their ability. If they don't have the ability to see, they can't see. And so the criteria is the amount based on their container They don't know how to measure Lake Michigan, the ocean. They don't have their own little container. So when I say that, I give them blessings. That's good for them. You found your truth, but it's not the truth. And I said, that's fine. And all those people, also, they're groupies all the say. They looking for something. And my purpose when I'm teaching and learning is to realize to the person their greatness is within them. To reflect their greatness. Because they are. We are from the source. And once we interconnect from that love back to the source and realize to be responsible for your greatness. And I'm from the school, I look within, I don't look within out. And you say, what can help me to remember who I am, what I am? So to answer your question, I hope I did. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. Whatever it is, it's the amount of your biggest your container. Yeah. I say, how big is it? Yeah. And when I say that to people, I say, how big is your container? Yeah. Right now, science has made a big progress. They still got airplanes that went down in the oceans. They still haven't found them. Right. It's that deep. So, is the planes lost? What they can say is we can't find them. All we can say is we can't even measure that deep. We don't know this deep. So what they can say with this taste of their arts, it is this person have filled my cup, and go with that person. And I say keep your cup open, keep it empty.
How do you empty your cup?
Realize you come back from your soul. Your ego fill up your cup. Your ego fill up and say, well, mine's better than yours. This is better. I can only say it's better for you. Keep it open. Because once you keep saying it's better, you set your soul less up for something difficult. Someone let you know yours is not better. Oh, let me check this out. How much better is it? It just says it's different. The way it's different is different. And mine is Hawksway who? Blackwater Tiger. So what does that mean? Well, the name actually came from one of my teachers in Hong Kong. But as I got deep spiritually, I'm a spiritual warrior, divine warrior, and I said, well, what do Hawk mean? Oh, Hawk mean black. It's just my incarnation this time, and I'm glad to have these melanocytes to say, wow, because it's increased my frequency, it's increased my sensitivity, it's increased my psychic ability, it's increased my reflection to a lot of signs. So I like the word Hawk. Oh, and sway. It's water. I said, whoa, man, I love that water thing. Hawksway who? Sway is water, and water's to me, is next to love. It's inclusive. It can go from being a little mist, then rain, then ice, then this a turn of something. It can transcend 4 or 5 different states. That's water. Then the tiger. I like a tiger. I'm quick, I'm strong, I'm courageous. That's all of that. So I've got the name Hawksway who. And that's to me have a lot of meaning in that scenario in terms of that. To have the flexibility, to have the spontaneity, to have the creativity in a millisecond, not seconds, the change. And that's what I'm saying, the Bakwa, you got to be the Bakwa. I don't care if it's a food system, food style Bakwa, a Chin style, a Gao style, a Sen style, a Yin style, whatever style. Until you internalize it, it's just talking. It's just talking. You got to be a walker that it means something to you. And that's you can be your Bakwa, using the same principles. And so that's just talking those principles. And when you become them, then they say that's Bakwa, that you have internalized in this system. Remember, they all have eyes, nose, lip, ears, head, arm, figure. They have that, chest. All these are weapons. There's so many ways to use it. The biggest one is your heart, though. Your heart. How big is your heart? Not in size, in courage, in honesty, creativity, love. That's the one. That's the one. Say, so if you get knocked down, I say, wow, that's cool. But how I get knocked down? And I didn't react to it. I'm responding, that was good. Because you want to keep the chi down, you know? I mean, I like boxing. I used to see people, brothers, get like knocked down. Rather get in the ring. Say, oh, okay, that was good. Let's do that again. Keep the chi down.
What does that mean?
Mean you're not reacting. You're not getting tightened up. You just get ready to flow. But a lot of people, I say, oh man, this is good. You know, that's adrenaline can only go so far, keep you so far, and people can take advantage of that. The intensity, I say yes. The anger, I said no. Can you maintain the relaxed intensity? That's a key word. Relaxed intensity. How do you do that? That's process.
To bring it full circle, I see you have a new video that you recently did.
Yes, this is a very powerful one called Swimming Dragon. One of my spiritual Qigong is part one of the Swimming Dragon. And Swimming Dragon is very good for multiple spiritual and health benefits. I'm going to start spiritually first because the first movement is dealing with gratitude. It's dealing with the balance of the two energies inside of you. It's also very powerful in terms of a martial application. This one also, if you have your spine is very flexible. To have a flexible spine, to keep the energy flowing is paramount in terms of your mental health, spiritual health, your physical health. So how flexible your spine. And also you're utilizing a lot of your legs to keep you, as I said to you want to be mobile. You want to be flexible. And you want to have the strength to do all of that kind of thing. And that's some of the things that it does with that. The other thing about this is it's also dealing with your different chakra system. I mean, it's dealing with your crown or your Hawksway system, or it's a different level dealing with your third eye, your throat chakra, your heart chakra, and also dealing with your sacral and the root. It's also dealing with the aspect of it of different meridians being stimulated as well. So overall, it's a very beneficial for people who want to have a similar, simple practice of doing sun in the morning. And once you get aware of what you're really stimulating, it's highly beneficial. I see a lot of women, a lot of men like this because it does improve kidney function, spinal function, legs, tone, and balance is very important. And blood circulation. Yeah, all this here.
And they can get that on your website?
They can get on the website or they can call me.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, I can.
I think that's mostly the questions I had. Is there anything else you would like to talk about?
Yeah, I just want to remind people to inhale love and exhale harmony. I want people to realize we're interconnected. I want people to remind people, so whatever you do to yourself. So the more you like yourself, more you won't harm nobody else. So I'm here, I'm a conduit of transmitting unconditional love and universal truth. And I take that as a global mission vibration for me. And so I remind people from spiritual Qigong, it's on that order. When you like, love, and appreciate yourself, you become a person of harmony, a person of love, a person of this vibrating higher frequency.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Hannah.
Oh, thank you for allowing me to do this. Thank you.